So Andrew Yang took out an op-ed in the Washington Post alongside former New Jersey Governor Christie Todd Whitman to plug their third party. Also former Representative David Jolly. I guess it was the three of them together. Now, there's nothing really substantive in this op-ed, but let's go through it a bit because here they are saying that their third party is not going to fail, unlike most third parties. And Owen Higgins had a great tweet where it's a screen grab from when Tobias in Arrested Development suggests an open marriage and says, well, for most people, it doesn't work and it ends in horror, but it might work for, and they delude themselves into thinking it'll work for them, but it might work for us. That's this op-ed personified. You could put this up here. Yeah, most third parties have failed. Here's why ours won't.
Oh, like literally, it says that. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Political extremism is ripping our nation apart, and the two major parties have failed to remedy the crisis. Da, 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 da. Scroll down, scroll down.
Can you control find first past the post?
So
Polarization, nothing concrete here. If nothing is done, the United States, da, da, da. Americans have lost faith. There's all these independents who need a new home. That's the gist of this. Keep going, keep going. I'm trying to see if there's anything in this op-ed that has to do with what they stand for politically.
Can you control find labor?
They want a moderate, common sense majority.
No, that's easy to find.
I think I have to push back. I don't think that they're going to. I kind of agree with the headline just based on what I've skimmed here so far, in the as you scroll through. Because ultimately, I think that most third parties, like the Green Party, even the Libertarian Party, are doing what they're doing in order mostly to like make a statement. Maybe they think they'll get on the ballot one day. Like it ranges. This is just a grift for money. So like in that sense, I think they're going to be very successful in raising money from the same kind of people who gave money to the Lincoln Project before they got outed as being like perverts over there. And so like in that sense, they're going to be very successful in like, separating rubes from their money. And then also I think they're going to in crypto too, probably. I want to say Yang is involved, so it's probably going to be some crypto in there that appeal to like the Reddit crowd. So, they're going to probably raise a lot more money than like the Green Party or the Libertarian Party ever has. They'll probably get way less of the vote, but they'll have a lot more money in their coffers somehow. And we'll see a lot more of these op-eds, even though like they're not going to be giving Jill Stein anytime soon.
Yeah, well, how about, are they going to give props to Jimmy Dore as the leader of the People's Party, presidential candidate potentially? I'm not even sure.
Gloria LaRiva, nobody. We're just, it's only Andrew Yang's third party, which is, I heard, made up of a combination of Democrats and Republicans.
Look at this shit. Sorry, Brett, go back up. On abortion, most Americans don't agree with the far left's extreme views on late-term abortions. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's no actual issue with late-term abortions.
No.
Like the idea that people are getting late-term abortions willy-nilly is a smear against any woman who wants to be empowered over their health care.
And when that happens, it's usually because it's the life of the mother in danger.
Right. It's not just some you're going on a bender, you're like, oh, let's get rid of this thing too, like in the nick of time.
I'm actually surprised that they didn't go with the full-on right-wing framing of it and call it like post-birth abortions or something. But in the Reuters piece on it, they explain because this is the merging of like 3 different groups to create this Andrew Yang third party. But listen to this explanation, and again, this is something that's being pushed as former Republicans and Democrats have come together to form a new third party. Now, here's the details behind these 3 groups who came together. See if you could find the Democrat for me. The merger involves the Renew America movement, formed in 2021 by dozens of former officials in the Republican administrations of Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, George W. Bush, and Donald Trump. The Forward Party, founded by Yang, who left the Democratic Party in 2021 and became an independent, and the Serve America movement, a group of Democrats, Republicans, and independents whose executive director is former Republican Congressman David Jolly. So what it sounds like to me is that you got frankly, at least one group that's fully Republican, that first one, Renew America Movement, a second group that apparently has some unnamed Democrats who are part of it, but the group is still led by Republican Congressman David Jolly. And I looked at their website, and it seems like the main team is all Republicans as well. And then you have the Forward Party, which is Yang, who I guess is doing a lot of work holding that former Democrat line for that whole third party.
Also, if they had more Democrats in this group, they probably realize that like what they're doing is just the Democrats' shtick since the 90s. Like this idea that they're with less details. And so the idea that there might be a far left in this country and a far right and we need a center party is the Democrats' whole messaging now. This is just the Democratic Party's line, but with less details. And so that's another just a sign that Andrew Yang is entirely divorced from the way politics actually engage in this country. And the more internet politics conversations, like the people like Elon Musk would say Democrats are moving too far left. And it's like, okay, you mean AOC, like the one Democrat in the party who wants to sort of do something sometimes. And like, yeah, she's really far left. And it's just like, but she has no power, so it doesn't matter. But I don't think this idea that the Democrats are moving far enough to the left to justify someone between Democrats and Republicans is going to work out.
It's just obvious too, because yes, as you say, as we pointed out, he's straw manning or the piece every position that the Democratic Party is supposed to have, or late term abortions. No one is advocating for that. In fact, Democratic leadership, the leadership of the party that they're claiming has gone too far left, is too afraid to even say the word abortion. And Nancy Pelosi is doing photo ops with the Pope as a way to just appeal to the voters that, she feels might be a little scared about the word abortion. They aren't doing anything to actually codify the right to any kind of abortion in the red states that have these trigger laws in place. None of that stuff. I mean, it's all mythical as a way to sell their own grift, and I'm sure they'll get some donations and run away with it.
You know who's part of this? You remember back in like 2018, there was like an anonymous Trump official who wrote a column for the New York Times about how he was so disgusted with the president, and he's going to try to take it down from the inside. And then it came out as this guy.
Like one of those a week.
But this guy, right? This guy, Miles Taylor, he is part of this new party. And this BuzzFeed News article from 2020 detailed how Miles Taylor was actually a high-ranking official in Trump's Department of Homeland Security and was involved in a lot of the Trump administration's zero tolerance policies and defended these immigration policies of Trump as well. When we're talking about just how unlike the modern-day Republican Party this third party is going to be like, well, this guy is apparently one of the major figures who are part of it.
I think the further away that Andrew Yang gets away from his like techno-libertarianism that was like his defining characteristic in the Democratic primaries, the less relevance he's going to have, because no one's dying to see Andrew Yang talk about anything other than like UBI and like how being involved in big tech is going to allow him to disrupt the, atmosphere of the political space or some shit that he says. That's like he's very like his TED Talk stuff. When he gives like his TED Talk instead of like actually talking about politics. Like this is, I don't think anyone's dying to have him be like the face of a new third way system. It's just not going to work out. Like he's lost his relevance. He should have kept with the UBI.
And honestly, like I doubt that there are any candidates that they're going to put forward in the foreseeable future. But say they put up just a presidential candidate and Andrew Yang is at the face of it or something, right? When 2024 rolls around, and maybe it's even him. That is indistinguishable from what the Green Party does, which is they have largely abandoned electing candidates on the grassroots level. They seem to just pop up every 4 years to run someone for president, and then they go away. And so, yes, your third party will fail electorally at the very least. They might get some money. But what this is going to do if they actually run a presidential candidate, you think that Republicans are going to abandon Trump or DeSantis or whoever the nominee of the Republican Party is for some sort of third party. I mean, this is just like Biden 2.0, except running on a different ticket on the presidential level, most likely. And so there's nothing there.
If you think the Democratic Party is too right wing or too left wing, you're a right winger.
Yeah.
Like you can call yourself a centrist or not, but that's an insane statement to make.
So they don't stand for anything except being in the center and making some money. Good job, Andrew Yang.
They're entrepreneurs.